Hello, and welcome to Homeschool MBA, where we talk about different management administration topics. Thank you for being here. Let's get started. So, the agenda today is different management styles in an organization. I have created a one pager which goes over some of the key parameters of management styles. Hello, Professor. How are you doing? Let's talk about different management styles in an organization.
Thank you very much. I'm fine. Management styles they can also be referred as leadership styles adopted by the managers. It actually means that you see, different managers have different styles of solving their problems. Some of their problems, they are so complicated that they need, kind of collective decision making, and in other problems, they can need, they prefer their personal decisions, and the managers normally read the situation and then adopt a particular style. And these styles can be leading from the front, leading from behind, surgical leadership, dictatorial leadership, collective leadership, situational leadership. When we are talking of leadership, we mean the style that the managers adopt to solve that particular situation or solve that particular problem. That is generally what we mean by management styles. Yes. Excuse me. Yes. We come down to leading from front. Now, this is a very aggressive type of leadership. It's adopted only by very competent, aggressive, and result-oriented managers or leaders, and they are not afraid of taking unpopular decisions. Uh, Mao Zedong, the nation of the father of China, said that when three people are working, one becomes a leader. That means that they automatically adopt this leadership of leading from the front. Like any chief executive officer takes the ownership of decision and outcomes that he makes within the organization for achieving their aims and objectives. So the smart chief executives, they understand the pros and cons of that decision, and they understand the inside out of the organization, and they are very confident of themselves. Therefore, they lead from the front. Then there are people who lead from behind. Now, this also means that leading through absence, that is simply what you do is you build a team, and that team, excuse me, that team is, a combination of different team members who have different skills to handle different situations. In this case, he trusts the members of the team, and he trusts that they have the required qualification skills to solve the problem or the situation. The most important factor in this type of leadership style or management style is that you need to put a right person for the right job, and for that matter you need to understand your people, that who has certain skills, and you use those skills to solve your problem. And it also has a kind of directive or based management style, that you issue the policies, you issue the directives, instructions, and SOPs, and you also describe the jobs of various people at various work positions. So everybody follows the SOPs and job descriptions, and it has, in most of the organizations, this is the style that is adopted. And this can be, the example can be that managing through policies or procedures, or as we say, that the Americans, they managed through legislation and rest of the world through practices. So that is what leading from behind. And then we come down to surgical leadership. Now, surgical leadership, like that of a like surgeon, when he finds that any part of the body or limb of the body is not curable, he just chops it off. So that is the style that is adopted by the managers, and they are not afraid of taking any harsh or tough decisions or unpopular decisions. They keep only the victory in sight, that to achieve the victory they are willing to part way with certain resources or certain trade-offs, things like that. And they always they take it as a warlike situation in which they take ruthless actions, like you very rightly said, war room, and then triage teams and tiger teams to solve problems surgically. So that is all about this social surgical leadership style. Then it brings us to dictatorial leadership. Now, as it is quite obvious from the word itself, dictatorship. So the dictator is a kind of a person who is very competent. He knows his job and he knows what he is going to do, and he is not afraid of defeat, or he is not scared of taking any difficult decisions. It's kind of one man show, and he or she, manages through again directives and then policies and procedures and things like that. And they are not prepared to listen to no, or they are very intolerant people, and they mean business. They talk business, and they, take all those actions which can achieve their objectives. They are very competent people, like startup company run by subject matter experts. When they're doing this, they are not they are prepared, they are well analyzed, and they have considered pros and cons, and now they want to run the way they want. And this is again a very important management style, which brings us to collective leadership. Now, it is quite opposite to dictatorial leadership. Collective means participative decision making. Like we have a management tool called MBO, Management by Objectives. So they put the problems to their teams, and then they discuss it, and then they, bring out various alternatives, and one, two, three alternatives, and they select the best suitable alternative. So that it also means that team members are fully involved in decision making. And when the team is involved in decision making, the members, they develop ownership of the decision, and they feel comfortable that whatever they are doing according to their own competence and according to their own willingness, because the roles and the duties that are given under this heading to the team members is in accordance with their competence and their skills and through their willingness. So then that takes us to, last but not the least, situational leadership. Now, situational leadership is a very, very important style. In fact, this style can be adopted by any of the above, styles. The managers, they can read the situation and then adopt any style. They can adopt the leading from front style or leading from behind style, but in certain cases it is only restricted to dictatorial style. Like, for example, when the pilot is facing an emergency and he's taking spatial decisions, so he's not going to consult the book, or he's not going to follow the SOPs. He wants to save the life of the people. Therefore, he will take his personal decision, depending on the situation. Similarly, if a building is on a fire and then the fire captain is not going to consult the book, he's simply going to, give orders. So and so do this, so and so do this. His objective is to control the fire, not to follow the SOPs and things like that. So situational leadership is perhaps the most important leadership style that the managers must understand. Yes, this is generally speaking about different management styles or leadership styles.
Okay, Professor, a couple of questions. One question comes to mind is, as a manager, as you're developing your career,
Mhm.
how do you figure out which style suits you the best, or in which style do you grow the best?
It depends that at what level of management you are. Because if you are middle level management and you have a wing or a section to head, or for that matter even a department to head, the best is to have a collective leadership style where you put everybody on the same page, and you all agree to certain rights and certain duties of various team members, and allocate the task according to the willingness of the team members and according to their skills and according to their expertise, etc. Therefore, I would say that it depends again on the situation, that at what level you are taking that decision. If as head of the department, I would say that collective, leadership is recommended.
Okay, and my other question is, as one progresses to his through his career, uh, does his leadership style change, evolve with time, or how does it evolve?
Uh, you see, again, when you grow in your career, you start from basics and to go to operation level, and then strategic level, and then middle management level, and then senior management and executive and so on. So with the passage of time, you learn yourself that what is the best style, or you need to know for let's say growth in your career is that these are various styles available. And if you are taking, let us say, you are faced with the situation as a middle manager where you have to be very dictatorial, so don't be scared. Take the dictatorial decisions and start leading from the front. So it depends on the smartness of the manager, how he reads the situation, and what kind of style he thinks that he can solve that situation. So there is no hard and fast rule that which leadership style that you should, adopt to.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Professor. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please like and subscribe to all our social media.